Oh, we didn't have the intro. There's no intro because I had to restart the internet. Hopefully, things will be running smoother now. Guess I might as well. No. Real deal. Okay. Welcome back. Well, thank you. How is the stream faring? I did restart the internet. Hopefully that fixed stuff. Oh, hello, Emil. We're back. Everything seems good now. I'm glad. I don't know why the internet has such problems. It exists just to thwart me. Okay. So I don't know this map, but it does look very similar to me. In comparison to other maps I've seen. And again, it's got triple base, which is a really small map, so I'm expecting to see just a overflowing, I guess this side will just be overflowing with yellow combat infantry marching up here, and the Commonwealth Ice will have a massive number of infantry marching down here, just because there isn't very much space on this front, and there's 2 bases against 1. There's also no airport. That's an interesting choice. The middle looks really awkward to move through because you have to go through forests to then end up on shoals, and there's a bunch of mountains in the way, and the center tile is a reef because it can be. Obviously, this should be a lab. If it was a Weege map, it would be a lab. It doesn't have to be a lab. That's just how the Weege maps go. The lab completely surrounded by shoals. The HQ looks pretty easy to defend. From this base, a tank goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a tank can interrupt in 1 turn. But it can't hit here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it can only hit from this tile. And over here we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, so a tank can't actually hit the HQ from this side. Maybe this HQ isn't quite as safe as it first looks. The immediate tile you'd need to block is this one, just for making sure they can't defend it on a buy. Well, I guess they can defend it with a rocket, right? Rocket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a rocket buy can defend, or a pipe run. As for killing this base, because you have 2 base against 1 base, indirects do seem like they'd be a good choice, but you can't do it with an artillery unless you're Grit. So getting a rocket into this city, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or this forest, either of these be pretty good. They'll have defense of this mountain here, and they can lock the base. I would imagine that would be Sasha's game plan looking into this, is to get a rocket, get it probably built from this base, get it to this city, and lock Max's lone base over here. Oh, that was your first ever opponent on the High Funds ladder. Very cool. Yeah, if I was playing Sasha, that would be my plan. Let's see, 1, 2, or 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it doesn't quite make it there in 2 turns. It does take 3. So maybe you would build it from this space instead. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slightly safer because you'll be able to build like tanks and blockers from the forward base as the rocket approaches the city to lock this lone base. That would be my plan if I was playing Sasha here. As Max, I would just try and flood tanks with I'd probably try and I'd flood tanks, and then as we enter into the mid game, I'd try and float a little bit of money because Sasha's going to just tech up on me. So I want to have the ability to match that tech up, at least with one vehicle. So I can have a power go off and like my Neo tank hit one of the Sasha Neo tanks, and I'm pretty happy. Or use the Neo tank to break through and hit a rocket or some artillery coming in. So that's what I would expect, is Sasha's going to go with indirects and infantry marching down here, trying to wipe out Max's lone base, and Max is just going to try and flood with light vehicles, as is Max's way. The fact that there's no airport makes me think we're not going to see any anti-airs. Even though they could be, I mean, maybe Max will build them because they're still going to be good at breaking infantry walls, but since there's going to be no anti-airs, it will just be like so many light tanks. We'll see how the two players decide to go about this. This is going to be a pretty contested city. Max, unfortunately, cannot lock this with an artillery, but Sasha can from either side. So there shouldn't really be a world where Max gets either of these cities, just because of how strong an artillery behind the mountain is. Especially when that mountain kind of has choke points on either side. So Sasha just starts with a tank, match Max's tank, and then we have a mech on the lone base side. Okay. I don't know if I would have gone with a mech, just because the vehicle first strikes on the mech from a Max are going to be absolutely brutal. And I think I would favor, and mechs also won't be able to cover stuff like this, I think I'd favor going for the faster tech ups instead. We're getting more mechs. Okay, we have an artillery over here, and we have this city have already fallen to Sasha. There should really be an artillery built from this base already to lock down this city. Max is going into the center. I do like this. The center isn't a place that Sasha can easily lock, unlike this one. Okay, we have an artillery moving out over here. I don't know what this artillery's dream is. There isn't quite as good of a spot for the artillery to try and like lock the space, for instance. So it might just be going for just a general attack rather than just positional lock. If you want to kill the base, you can definitely just use artillery. You're not confident enough in your Sasha to try her without airport triangling. So this is neat to see. That's true. That is definitely one of her good tactics. Okay, you know, like I was saying, we're just going to flood a ton of infantry. It's pretty odd. So Max here is also building infantry, of course, from the one base side, but they're not sticking on the one base side. They're transitioning through the middle. The one base side is going to get really, really underprotected. Ooh, okay, we have an artillery guarding the tank. Just to try and allow this like first strike here. We'll see if Max tries to kill it off tank in vengeance. Smack. Smack. Okay, we're going to have a lot of fighting suddenly happen over here. And this is beneficial for Sasha because it's happening on the 2 base side versus the 1 base side. So reinforcement-wise, Sasha is always just going to have more available, at least over time. Oh, right now there's more available for Max because Max kind of joined all of the units in the center. And we have the medium tank to match the medium tank. Whoa, I pressed the wrong button there. Okay, artillery fires. Tank finishes it off. We get a tank first strike from the city. It would be pretty nice for Sasha to do a couple more attacks and then drain all of Max's power so we don't get hit by a normal power. But there is when you're playing Sasha and you're dealing with COs that have just this like 3-bar charge, you can always let them get a power off on a turn that just doesn't matter too much, because that will make it a lot easier to manage all of their future power plays. Because their power costs more, of course, every time you use it, and also because you didn't use any of your charges, you can build up towards a fuller bar. You just go like power, 3 turns in a row. All right. So still fighting in artillery range. So this artillery is definitely getting some nice value. This medium tank can come in here, but it doesn't have a great target. The only thing it would really be able to hit would be that tank that just went down. We got the successful 2-hit KO over here. Max did get the city. I don't think that should have been possible, but Max managed it. We have quite a few mechs here. Now, Voice of Akasha would not be happy with these mechs because they are really bad tempo-wise. They got built a long time ago and they haven't really done anything. In comparison to how they could have like saved a tiny bit of money to get another tank that would be able to fight earlier. But we'll see if the almost like a delayed timing attack with them ends up working out. The other stream did have an untimely death. This is a live league game, yeah. Okay, back comes through, manages to hit the artillery. It will cost that tank its life. And the artillery will just kind of go back to a city, so it's really not the best trade, but it does let this medium tank get a little feisty. That is a weird... Okay, never mind. It's because this tank is here. So, Sasha doesn't want to bring this tank into the fight. Ooh, the rare 1 HP infantry fight and no one dies. There goes on to the city. Medium tank gets a kill. The mechs be marching. Okay. Sasha drains the charge, does a base skip, but gets a neo tank. I do agree with base skipping on this base if you're going to base skip. That way both fronts are still getting units. Ooh, Max joins some infantry together to make a new little wall. Doesn't attack anything over here. Okay. Just a big old fallback. This is where I would expect the game to start super stalling. And that seems to be... Never mind. I thought that seems to be the case. But then Max attacks in here. This is a pretty gutsy attack, because both of these medium tanks are super dead. Smack. Mech finishes it off. Mech will finish off this one too. I can understand that Max was like, I don't really want to stall here. I totally get that. I think I would have tried to attack on the other side. We're gonna try and trap the mech here. We got max force. Tank comes in, tank kills off the artillery. We have another neo tank. The tech ups are just a little too much. Okay, down goes that mech. Straight to the mega tank. Oof. The mega tank's a rough choice because Max is completely out of charge and won't gain any from the attacks on this turn. And if without the mech power moving, giving it a movement boost, it's gonna just not be able to impact the board. But I think it was pretty much GG anyway, so it was just a for fun mega tank here. on this side. We do get to kill off those tanks, which is nice. So, you know, Max is getting some traction going on over here. We do have a rocket on its way. Probably dreaming about the same base lock I was talking about at the start of the game. Mega tank marches forward, and these tanks have to fall back. Max doesn't really get to keep any of that advantage. Really far behind in unit value, but still doing really nicely in unit count, and they are equal in properties currently. It's just that like almost half of Max's entire unit value is this single mega tank. Okay, mega tank comes in, kills the medium tank off. Now down to 2 ammo. The recon doesn't reach, but this tank in this recon does reach, unless this tank dies, which it does. So there won't be any... This is actually a pretty nice position. There won't be any huge ammo drain plays, and it's actually within the minimum range of the rocket. So definitely a nice pick-off. It can still die, or either die or get seriously maimed by these double Neo tanks, but it will hit that first one, the first one that comes in really hard. And you know, a medium tank and a Neo tank for a mega tank is a pretty good trade. Okay, this Neo tank did not get involved, so we're not going to attack this, I assume. That will not work. Ow. Oh, Sasha, instead of wiping charge, does build a medium tank here. Oh no! Well, that hurts. Well, that doesn't stop Max from getting the charge. This is out of ammo, so it can't. This won't be able to kill the Neo tank. It'll still be able to do a number to this rocket, though, or infantry. But it's just machine gun. And goodbye, Neo tank. Goodbye, infantry. If the rocket takes a big hit, oh, this just decides to retreat. That's fair. Save the city. There's still a Neo tank and two tanks over here, but there's only one injured infantry, so it's gonna be hard to capture anything. It's a pretty big punish for missing or messing up that market crash. Another medium tank for this front. Forward infantry all get picked off, so Max is definitely going to get ahead in unit count, at least for a while here. The mega tank play ended up being amazing. There's the sneaky penguin. The live gameplay. Sasha classic, I know. That is a very gutsy place to put the Neo tank, but it's okay. Because this time we do drain the charge before flying, and we saved 8k. Doesn't quite get surrounded, so it's fine. It's fine. It was always fine. Max also floats a bunch of money. And while Sasha did have some amazing exchanges earlier on, didn't manage to actually get any properties from it. We have another base skip in order to get another Neo tank. Oh, Max diving down in here with a double medium tank strike. Medium strike over here. Kind of all works out. A tank will have to finish this guy off for sure, right? No. I don't know about that. I mean, a 3 health Neo tank can still do some pretty nice damage. We'll see. There isn't too... Like, these indirects won't be able to help, but this one will. We have a tank and a medium tank. Shot. It'll be a pretty bloody fight. Get taken out. I probably would have used the 3 health Neo tank to kill this off, because the full health tank we'll have like tanks that can fight. That's all right. Arrow marker crash again, making sure to do it before buying stuff. Although it seemed to like wipe no charge. What happened there? Oh, it's because of all the repairs. Sasha only had 10k. Okay, Max is doing great in unit count, which is nice. Sasha wipes the charge again. Should probably have just on the previous turn a really light buy, and then you can wipe all the charge on the next turn. Yeah, a light buy like this, we just go triple infantry. I'm not quite sure why everything just inched forward, like into mega tank range, for instance, is really risky. I love all that. This is like a triple sacrifice. It is. It's a triple sacrifice play. Note, this is what I'm talking about with these 4 health infantry. They're so good. Sack, sack. Mega tank comes in. It's a nice kill. The rocket decided to shoot the mega tank. I don't know about that. There's some... This guy's got some nice choices. There's like a medium tank on a road down here, for instance. I mean, this will kill off the mega tank, which is, I guess, pretty good. It's definitely a morale hit. Can't deny that. But we do get the max force, and all of these other vehicles were totally fine because of that. Charge in, down goes the artillery. We're going to lose the artillery and the rocket, which means most of the indirects have been taken out. This one did live at 2. It is in the forest after all. Okay, so we have tanks and medium tanks fighting against double neo tank and some injured indirects. It's a bloody fight in the center, which is definitely not where Sasha wants to be fighting. Sasha wants to be fighting on the sides where the indirects have better coverage. Although all the indirects have been taken out. Oh, Max is busting on through here. Does build a tank. Double infantry. It's a good buy. Save up the cash to go for another heavy tank. We have the market crash from Sasha. Kills off a medium tank, retreat with the neo tank, doing the smack here. It's pretty good. But the unit count do not lie. Max is at 22 to 16 at the end of Sasha's turn. Although almost all of that is infantry. 5 more infantry for Max. Oh. Max finds a breakthrough to hit this artillery, although it's definitely an overextension to do so. Oh. But over here, Max is actually getting a city. This is something that hasn't happened in either of these attacks either way. And that causes Sasha to resign. GG. That was a huge slugfest in the center. I thought that Max was super dead with that attack. But with the attack that just got absolutely destroyed on this side as the game has started to stall out. But managed to fall back and then get a little bit of traction over here. Sasha's indirects got broken through too. And then just had some slightly weird placements, but that's going to happen a lot in Live League. GG. He's a high-level player. Is he a long-time name or a recent joiner? I know he's in there for at least a year. I believe. I don't know how long Lord Clary's been involved in the game. Oh. This is a wide map. Lord Clefairy. I'll make Lord Clefairy Cobalt Ice because I mean we're all more Lash fans than we are Kindle fans. I know. I know the truth. Make sure we're facing the right ways. Okay. What on earth is this map? Well, we have... Oh, it's this map. Oh, I know this map. It's the one that has like the comm tower, and you can like hold this choke point to get it. You can theoretically get both comm towers on this map if you really rush it. HQs are pretty hard to take. Yeah, I know this one. Lots of fighting around the comm towers has been my experience. Fun map, you won on it. You will never understand the fixation with Lash as an Elf fan. Oh, that's right. You guys banned recons. Awful choice. Worst choice that the map committee has ever had. I'm just going to say that. If your map can't handle recons, it's a map problem. You don't just remove... Yes. Never happening again. For the kill. It was awful. I was physically revolted when I saw that recons were banned on this map in Global League. It was just a disgusting, like, this precedent is horrible. Anyway. Okay. We're moving down. Definitely want to get this neutral base. It's a little far away. So sometimes these players are pretty experienced, so it would be really embarrassing if they missed the neutral base. But oftentimes, if it's your first time playing on a map and the neutral base is like this far away, you can sometimes just not scan the map and see it. You can have some very embarrassing moments. So Nonova rushed the airport before this city, where Lord Clefairy has done the opposite. He's going to go for these central captures. Okay. So we'll see how this plays out. So the difference is Lord Clefairy is going to get the central captures faster, but Nonova is going to have air units faster. Although, unfortunately, Nonova got this airport so fast that... Oh, never mind. Never mind. There'll be enough money to build a copter. We'll just have to see if Nonova is going to build a battle copter or a transport copter, which would, of course, be the spicy play. Or neither. And just go with the tank. So this makes me feel like this is much worse of a play, because it has a lower amount of control in the contested parts of the map, and it's not getting any advantage out of the faster airport. Ooh, okay. And Lord Clefairy is going for this comm tower before Nonova is actually able to interrupt it at all. Although Nonova will also be able to go for this before Lord Clefairy can interrupt this, so they will both be able to get the comm tower. Oh my gosh, Nonova's like, no, I have no interest in said comm tower. Instead, just offers an infantry on infantry fight over here. Wild. Lord Clefairy very happy to take this comm tower, and I assume also very happy to attack this infantry. We're about to find out though. No, Lord Clefairy is like, I'll just take the city. Okay. In comes the tank. I guess the idea is it'll be fine. The city can complete. We'll have tank strike, infantry strike to clear it, and it's Lash versus Kindle with the city blocked off, so no real fear of the Kindle tank coming in. Okay, so this city has been captured by Lash. This city, not even close to being captured by Kindle. So far, so good for Lord Clefairy's central plan. We'll see if that holds. Okay, now comes a T-copter. Interesting. So there was that play, and you can see we've got tank covers tank. The tank is on the forest. Kindle only has one tank currently that can get involved in this fight. And there's no comm tower, so it's going to be pretty devastating if this tank does get involved. As Lash will hit back at plus 30% firepower, do the 20% from the woods, 10% from the comm tower. And then we have the Lash artillery here. I think this makes a lot of sense. This is a very choky area, and it's very easy for this base to theoretically overrun this comm tower. But if you have like a Lash artillery sitting way back here on this city, locking this down, I think you can probably hold that comm tower as long as you want. Although you'll probably have to get off of it once the urban blights start raining. Yeah, like look at this. Look at how disgusting this is. First strike on a tank that has chip damage. 6/6 trade. So that super sucks for Nonova. This tank is just going to go down to the city, be totally happy to heal up. These infantry are, I assume, going to stop this comm tower capture, and this tank's going to kill this tank. And because this is Lash with one comm tower, when attacking from the plains, we're at plus 20% firepower. So this is like guaranteed kill here, for instance. This is not guaranteed, but it's slightly better than the 30%, because plus 10% and plus 20%. Ooh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So Lord Clefairy was worried about this tank coming in and hitting the 6 health tank on the city. Instead offered a full health tank on the road. I think it might have been fine to let this tank come in and go for the tank on the city, because then only one tank can hit here. This is a really easy one to avenge. Tank might not even die. This Kindle doesn't even have a comm tower. Okay. Oh my gosh! This tank doesn't even die. These tanks are super dead. The mech is a pretty nice little addition here. The city does fall though. This is... Oh, I thought Clefairy was going to come in here and kill that infantry, but no. I mean, this is looking currently like a really good Lash game, but we haven't seen the Urban Blight come in. Down goes that tank. We're going to see a sacrifice play. You can have like tank hit. No. Just like that. That's fine. The mech will get to do something here, although it doesn't have great backup, so I don't know if it will. I think I'm happy with just preserving this one health tank. He probably wouldn't have gotten this guy killed. This would have had to have done a low roll, and this would have to like high roll or something. And it's at 1 health, so if it gets hit with an Urban Blight, you don't really take that much damage. You have another anti-air. I think you could probably get away with this just being a tank or an artillery. I don't think this one's really in any danger. But it might be that Lord Clefairy is just too worried about a front switch here. But if this copter front switches, I think you just crush over here. So it has to do something. Okay, here comes the Urban Blight. It does hit this artillery. It's not that big of a deal because it's not really under any pressure. Okay, we do get a nice mech strike though. And it does finish off that tank. So that's pretty good. And this infantry will hit back really hard, although it's just gonna hit with a tank first, so it's not really impactful. Okay, down goes the copter to the anti-air. Ooh, Lord Clefairy goes for the forbidden tactics? What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess you can hit here, like who cares? Infantry sacrifice, infantry hit. I don't understand. Why did we need to use the forbidden tactics? The forbidden tactics being Lash's normal power. That was a Lash's normal power just to have an anti-air hidden infantry. Okay, I mean it is also +10/+10 stats. Okay. The anti-air lives. Thanks to those +10/+10 stats, you know. It's something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, this anti-air. Oh, no, it can. Maybe. It just has to find its way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here to kill the copter. That does look doable. But we'll see. Okay. Kindle falls back in the center. Oh, Kindle was able to get this city, which I feel like might have been a little bit of a lost opportunity. Or a missed opportunity. Okay. Going after the mech. Killing off that tank. Blocking the way with the 1 health infantry. That's pretty cute. The just gets to fire on infantry over here as Kindle attempts to lay siege to the comm tower. Well, I feel like if Lord Clefairy hadn't used the normal power last turn, this would be almost GG, as the super would be pretty much upon us. While in some pretty juicy brawls. Okay, there goes down this tank. Infantry goes down, so now this tank can hit this anti-air. Knock it down to 5. The copter goes in for it? Okay. Urban Blight. That even hit. Okay. Let's hit this tank. It almost feels just like an Urban Blight on cooldown move, which I'm not a big fan of. It does help deal with this, and I guess it does allow a breakthrough on this comm tower to hit this artillery. I mean, it'll cost some funds for Lord Clefairy to deal with. And it's certainly better than... oh, it didn't even go in for the artillery. It's definitely better than a terrain tactics to kill 1 infantry. But I'm a little unimpressed. Okay, we have our nice little line of infantry here. Going for some anti-air sacrifices. I would really prefer to not go for the anti-air sacrifices. Maybe you can have the 2 health anti-air hit here and just send the 1 health one to the city. I'd be fine with that. If you really want to get this copter down to like 3. But I would prefer if the anti-airs were healed up. I know there's only 1 city available, so if you want to do 1 sacrifice, that's okay. But yeah. You see a button, you click it. Okay. Really in for these sacrifices. So does that mean this anti-air is going to go for the interrupt on this city? Or are we just going to... Lord Clefairy is not sure. Lord Clefairy was just sure about this sacrifice. Okay. Well, if I was going to sacrifice that anti-air, I guess it was a 1 health anti-air, so it doesn't even guarantee do a damage to this infantry, which is why I went for the copter. Confused noises though. Nonova's really happy about this turn events because gets a comm tower finally and this city. And also a really annoying breakthrough to hit this tank with a copter and the anti-air can't reach due to infantry block. So Nonova getting away with some tactical shenanigans against Lord Clefairy. Turning the tides of the battle. Yeah, Lord Clefairy just has to walk away. Just get smacked by a copter, can do nothing about it. Moving out into the center. There are some juicy cities for sure. Nonova is going to have to do something about. I mean, there's a tank sitting on one, for instance. We have a little artillery party happening in the top left corner. But now Nonova is up 2k because of this city. Okay, we have the mechs starting to march forward. This tank is offering itself to the gods. Like, I dare you to come down and kill me. Nonova's like, no. Offering denied. Not taking that bait. Okay. Got artillery against artillery. The stare down is real. Ooh, we got copters staring at copters. This is Nonova saying, wow, I really want to have an urban blight. I'm not... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm not 100% sure if an urban blight works here. I don't see how Nonova breaks through, because if Nonova can break through here, kill off this mech on the city, and then this tank can hit from the city, like kill this artillery or something, that's really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't see how this wall breaks through. Yeah, the wall doesn't break. You're doing like sacrificial attacks just to press the button? What's going on? Okay, I mean, it does kill off this tank and it can allow this capture to start. But doesn't the anti-air just die? I guess this one can come in, try and save the day. That's a very aggressive play just to press the button. So we do have a Lash super in response. It's some very hoppy music. I'm glad you enjoy. I see Lash, I mech. I see tank, I build mech. Okay. If Lord Clefairy uses the normal power here, I'm just going to be floored. Okay, no. Prime Tactics. Artillery says nom nom. Goodbye tank. Goodbye infantry. Goodbye infantry. Goodbye tank. Goodbye copter. Goodbye tank. Goodbye. I guess there was no way to get through and kill this anti-air. Goodbye infantry. I go for this capture right in the range of artillery, as one does. Okay, so that's a pretty good counterattack. We'll see. Maybe Nonova has enough over here to still manage to get this city. The reason these guys don't get the kill here is because of Prime Tactics, giving plus 30% defense for the plains tile. Oh. Look at how... This is some pretty cute tactics from Nonova. Hey, Kickart, did you miss the sus Lash COP though? This is a very cute trap. Decubird is excited about it. So the battlecopter can't move, but then also the tank can't move, and those are the two units in range of this city. So Nonova just gets this city, which is incredibly cute. Or no. Oh, yes. Yeah, Lord Clefairy would need either a power or both comm towers to have a full health and 8 health to kill this guy off. Unless I had like a lot of chip on it. Yeah, this is a very, very cute play from the Nova. Clefairy goes for this attack anyway. This is kind of a mess up. I think the 4 health tank can do something there. I'm not sure. I guess it doesn't matter. This guy can just hit from the plains. Yeah. Okay, we have the join cap over here. Artillery shot on the mech. Down goes infantry. Copter cleans up over here. Down goes that copter. Is in artillery range though. Okay. Copter comes in here for the wall. Decides to kill off the artillery. Capture does go through. Very nicely done by Nonova. Although the unit count is looking really good for Lord Clefairy. So we'll see if enough flips here. This does kill the copter, which was just... This is just a really good play. Okay, we have an Urban Blight. I think with the Urban Blight, the city gets saved, which makes this pretty decent. And it delays this city capture too. I mean, stopping 2 city flips with an Urban Blight is a good Urban Blight in my book. And it gets a tank kill there. I like that one a lot more than the one with the mass sacrifice. walking in here into this artillery range again. Definitely a little spicy. There's no healthy infantry to go for the comm tower. It's tragic. There's no healthy infantry to go for this city anymore. So a very nice urban blight. Classic tank plus anti-air strike. Oh, I'm an HQ cap started with the 6 health infantry. It's not a huge threat, but it's not nothing. Copter comes in. There's no anti-air here to threaten this. There is a 5 health mech to join to continue this cap threat, although it'll just get killed off by the next copter. Kill off the tank. We do have to be a little bit careful with this because this will definitely get join capped. Is this just GG? Like, I guess this infantry can get close. I feel like these tanks need to be. I guess they just couldn't get close enough. This guy will have to come down. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, that's not quite GG then. Right there comes in. And Nova just really doing very nice with the tactical plays this game. Ooh, join cap the property. Yeah, that's an undefended comm tower. Okay, so Lord Clefairy's army is just kind of chilling out in the center here. It doesn't know if it wants to front switch here, or it could always decide to try and attack. But Nonova actually has this very nice artillery locking both of these cities. Anti-air comes in, hits a copter. Okay, we already do a front switch. Kill off the anti-air. Build a copter, I like it. Lose this city? Lord Clefairy is already down 4k, so this is about to be Nonova up 6k. That is very difficult to come back from. 6k and maybe a comm tower down. And maybe a base down? Okay. This is looking like Nonova's got this. Lord Clefairy does get a bunch of kills. Still doing really nicely in the unit count. But yeah, is going to lose this comm tower. We get 2 cities back, which will be very helpful. The base is in so much trouble, though. Like, what does it even build? You might be like, oh, it just builds an anti-air because there's a copter here. But if there's no power popped by Lord Clefairy, which it doesn't look like there's going to be, then Nova can always just urban blight that anti-air and smack it with a tank. Oh, it just builds an infantry. Okay, I think this base is super dead. Yeah, it's super dead base. And then we have the urban blight, which even stops the double capture here. It doesn't really hit much else, so maybe you should just let the double capture go through. But I mean, another turn. It's like 4k. But I think this is super GG. I mean, you just can't survive losing a base. I say, but I mean, it's possible. Okay. Prime tactics. I mean, you might have an attempt at trying to trade base for base. I don't think this army is really quite up to snuff for getting the job done, though. It's like the unfortunate thing is if Lord Clefairy gets all 3 of these cities, that just evens the economy. Oh my gosh. This does hold at least. Now it's locked. A base is being captured. Another base is dying. Okay, we do get 2 of the cities. This one was interrupted. Okay, so more cities are getting captured. All right, maybe Lord Clefairy's got something going on up here. Although, both like this thing even build anything because it's locked. It now has an artillery on it. Okay, but Lord Clefairy, while losing this base, is managing to capture these cities. And then resigns. Resigns up in income, though. I respect it. You know, you want to resign at a high point. I think Lord Clefairy had a much better strategy going into this map, but Nonova's tactics just kind of destroyed Clefairy on the combat level. I also think the forbidden technique to kill a single infantry was definitely a low point for or like a turning point, I should say. But GG. Okay, it's Sahara, I think, is the name of the map. We have Max versus Olaf. It's true, it's the rare right color. I didn't have to change anyone. Okay. So I would say, I mean, knowing how this map plays out usually, I would say that Olaf has a really big advantage because artillery over here going up towards the HQ and coming down towards the HQ and also defending on the HQ are amazing. And there tends to be really large unit counts on this map because it's big and wide. So that makes global damage really good. But copters are also really nice on this map. So are recons. And Max has some really good recons due to the nice base damage. Ooh. Olaf charged the middle. Recon's on its way to try and mess with that. You have a tank from Olaf, and this kind of sets. You can see how nice this recon. Like it sits in the middle. Look where this recon can go. It can go to any front. It's already denying 2 cities. You'd be like, well, this tank came up from Olaf. Doesn't that cover this capture? No. Because Max just comes down with his own tank and he says, sure, you know, hit the recon. See how that works out for you. Oh, Max doesn't go for the interrupt here. I would definitely have gone for that interrupt. Max tank hitting a Olaf tank and getting to deny a city over it. That's pretty good. This capture is still delayed. I don't know why this tank is quite so scared. Well, this recon's super dead. It does slow down this capture and that capture. I don't really like this play from Olaf because this is like a 1 turn delay. You like lose an entire infantry to delay this city by 1 turn. Because this infantry super dies. Oh, never mind. This one didn't continue. It's a 2 turn delay. That's not nearly as bad. You think Sahara might be your second favorite map behind Celeste? Celeste is pretty good. Also a fun game. This is a little... Well, there's 2 tank backups, but in general, this positioning is pretty sketchy because a 6 health infantry can be cleared by a tank, and then the other tank would be able to hit you from the city. So you just don't want to have your tank next to the city. Olaf comes in with a nice free hit over here. Decides to just back up. Earl of lemongrab is up by a fair bit of income here. Scared of this copter's coming over to stop this infantry and this shenanigans going for the corner here. An anti-air built. Copter charges in here to take a nice free shot against the infantry. We don't have any indirects built yet, which would be really good for Olaf in moving up here. Earl of lemongrab does stop this capture. Give a nice anti-air coverage. Looking out. Olaf is really delayed in moving infantry over here just because of how quickly the center was rushed. But you can see the center got rushed, but both players still got like their 2 properties. So it's not really great for rushing the center. But this city has actually been delayed for a long time. Copter comes down. Having the tanks gonna build up over here. There's oh my gosh! I just noticed Olaf went tank copter double base skip. That puts a lot of pressure on these tanks and copters to do something, because, and I don't know what they're going to be doing, because like you could have built the tank on the next turn and like go triple infantry, for instance. So this tank has to do something this turn that you wouldn't be able to get it. Like, this is not what you want to be doing with the tank that you had to double base skip for. It has to be really impactful. The reason why you wouldn't want to do something like this is because this is almost a move that says, oh, I should have just built this tank this turn on this base instead. You lost on this map 5 minutes ago. Hawk versus Javier. I can see that being nasty. Ooh. This city isn't being contested. This city is being contested. Max doesn't get to use any indirects, so we just need a ton of vehicles backing this up. Olaf hasn't built any indirects either. And oh my gosh! 34 to 23 unit count? Absolutely disgusting. Ooh. Olaf does manage to get this city, though. But when you have a unit count lead like this, you should be able to just take cities essentially for free. Because your opponent just won't be able to match you everywhere on the map. And it looks like the center is where Earl of lemongrab is going to try and just take cities for free. Ooh. Olaf playing with fire charging in here. There isn't quite a max power. The max power would be devastating because this copter would be able to hit here, which frees up this copter. This tank is to come in. I mean, it's just huge amounts of damage. Okay, we have an infantry sacrifice in order to get the power. Oh, down goes the copter. This guy decides to hit here. I guess that's the only way to interrupt. Maybe the 4 helicopter can, or infantry can do... probably not 3 damage. It's a little unfortunate. You really like to hit the tank. But to save a city is probably worth it. It really comes down to like... It's just because Earl of Lemongrab doesn't really have any healthy infantry over here. If there's healthy infantry, then you go for the tank hit, and you just like don't care. You can just take the city back after you win the fight. But I guess especially against Olaf, you wouldn't want to go for that, because like you're just gonna get hit by the super, and all your infantry are gonna get injured and be too slow to capture stuff. So nice attack down here as well. I assume the anti-air is gonna back it up. Back it up from way over here. I mean, I guess this is all shoal and roads, so it's gonna snow, and the anti-air will still be able to make it. We have a fancy T-copter by. Okay, here comes the super. Gonna do a lot of damage. Casual 30k. Pop. Copter, and then the captors come in. You notice that there was a copter way down here. Man, the attack over here is still looking really scary. Still up 11 units at the end of Olaf's turn. How much of that's just infantry though? 12. Okay, so most of it's just infantry. Up 12 infantry, but 11 units. It double join. Caps. Cities are being captured too. It's looking very scary for Olaf. Well, these cities are... At least one of them is going to fall. It's not all bad for Olaf. In fact, both of them are going to fall. Okay. So 23 to 19, but Olaf isn't ever going to get that 23 because he captures it through. Nice pickoffs in the center. Okay, the unit count is starting to shrink, or the unit count disparity. These ones aren't going to complete this turn. Ooh, so Olaf is going to actually get that amount of income, 24k. At least for one turn. He comes and kills an anti-air. Copter boost in. Oh my gosh, Earl of Lemongrab has to abandon the capture. That hurts a lot. Olaf is up by 3k, is getting some attacks in the center, although that's not free. Does manage to interrupt this capture at the cost of a copter and a tank. I don't know about that. Okay. He gets hit. Ooh, these guys don't want to get involved. What? I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Or it looks like Earl of Lemongrab is getting too scared to go for some tactical plays. Like, you can just bring 2 infantry down here. Go block, anti-air kills this copter, the 2 tanks kill this tank, and then it's true that I guess it's because this copter adds another layer to it. And they've got these guys coming in. Okay, I guess it's fair. Well, I mean, you can just hit here with this tank, though. I don't know. I feel like you go in. You shouldn't let this get, like, this should never be allowed to happen. What is this? I don't know how this happened. Okay, I don't understand how this tank comes into this nest of vipers, but these tanks didn't go into these fights. I think the idea here is to try and wipe out all the infantry from Olaf so that the captures can't happen. tank. Okay, the game is starting to stall, which is something that Olaf really likes. Max, not quite so big of a fan. But the income is going to go back into Max's favor soon. These guys are just charging forward. Olaf really wants that super. Okay, we have the Max Blast coming on in. That goes that tank. I'm not quite sure why these guys charged in. That tank. We're gonna lose a copter to an anti-air. Get that tank. Seems pretty good. Olaf really wanted that super, and he got it. We're at 33 minutes to 15. This is gonna be another painful super. Pop, 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 pop. Is that another like 30k? What was that? Yeah, 30k. And just to... Oftentimes people are talking about how much damage is the super going to do, and they're like, well, it's just going to do 20% of the value because it does, 20% damage. But that's not exactly how it works. For instance, if we're looking at the health of these units, if we take 2 health away from a 3 health tank, that's not taking 20% away from the value. That's taking 66% away from the value. So if you have a whole bunch of injured units and they get hit with global damage, your unit value is going to get hit for more than just 20%. It can get hit by huge amounts. That's often why it's suggested to join your units if you think you're about to get hit by global damage, so that you don't get hit twice. Like if the 2 5 tanks join together, they take 2 damage instead of taking 4 damage total. That kind of thing. But of course, if those units were used to fight, then you're not joining. Okay, so it wasn't really too strong of a turn unit-wise. That's just because there's not very many left. But some key things that Olaf did here is hit all of the anti-air capabilities of Earl of lemongrab here. So these copters are pretty much safe. Tanks, however, are not quite so safe. I guess they're a little safe, because Earl of lemongrab didn't attack him. Anti-air go on city. Anti-air go on city. Anti-air go on city. Anti-air go on city. No. So you want to put the anti-air on the city because anti-airs do a lot of damage to copters. So every point of health they have is really, really impactful. Like a 1 health copter will do like 1 damage to a copter. Or a 1 health anti-air will do like 1 damage to a copter. A 3 health anti-air is already doing like 4 or 5. And once you hit 5 health on an anti-air, you're getting like close to kill copter range. So you repair, like the repairing of the anti-air is very valuable. You get a lot out of those HPs. Yeah, Olaf is down to 2 infantry, which is very painful. Okay, copter strike into the copter chain. That's not usually what you want to do. The reason you don't want to go for stuff like this, so look at this. We have a 9 health copter, comes in here, pop. So it does 6 damage to a copter. It takes 3. He's like, yeah, we got a nice trade. But then next turn, what happens? This full health copter now has a target. Before it didn't have a target, so all it would do is move. Now it gets to actually do something. So it'll come in here. It'll just kill your copter. So that was like a free attack that they get. And now the exchange has become, you lost 9 health of copter. You did 6 health of copter damage. That's really bad trade. And now they had a free hit, or like a new target. And this copter can still do something, like go after this 3 health tank, for instance. So you don't want to attack into copter chains. Unless you have like anti-air backup or something like that. Okay, so we're going for the capture over here. Copter wants to hit the infantry, sure. Okay, this is not what you want to do. You want to take the free hit with this copter. The anti-air's got other targets. You can come in here and finish off a tank, for instance. You go like tank, anti-air, it's on the shoals, your max, that will die. You probably use a full health tank to kill this one off. I can understand why they just go for all these attacks instead. But like instead, you can break through here and then tank, anti-air kills this, and then this tank can come through and hit another tank over here. You know, you got lots of options. But this is fine. Olaf did double his infantry, that's true. Okay, nice little hit on the tank. Ooh, I always like sacrificial plays. Oh, it didn't quite work. But I like them. They're not always good. But they're just fancy. Ooh. We're now up to 5 infantry for Olaf. So the city goes down. We have a max force used. Copter. Medium tank owl. So this is... Oh, this doesn't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was gonna say this is like the perfect opportunity to join tanks together rather than sit them next to each other. But they don't quite reach. Here, these 1 health tanks, if they get hit by a super, they'll still be at 1 health. So it's not a big deal. This is a case where you wouldn't want to join them together. Because after the super, you'll have 2 1 health tanks. What is the... What? What is that? What is that play? you do not put a 1 health copter on top of your base. What? Well, if you have a unit on your base, you can't build it. But I guess if you don't want to pay if you want to block your base, but you also don't want to pay repair costs when you get hit by the global damage, then I guess the copter is the way to go. This is like the worst case. I mean, luckily there's not enough stuff. But like, this is like one of the worst units that could block your base, because anything could kill it, and then they would be able to block your base with something that's real. Okay, we do have the double base skip. I guess you were hiding the base skip. You're like, no, I didn't base skip. I just built a 1 health copter for my base. What are you talking about? Casually build the bomber into the Winter Fury. I like it. I would definitely wait a turn to build the bomber, because if you look at bombers go from 7 move to 3 in the snow. So you might as well just wait a turn to build the bomber. Not pay the huge repair cost on this one in particular, this unit in particular. And just be 3 tiles shorter in movement. Like, look at it's always so sad. It's not as sad as the fighter. The fighter goes from 9 movement to 4. It's so brutal. so many low health units. We just built tanks. Okay. We have 4K income lead for Earl of Lemongrab, which is pretty nice. So very important for Olaf to build an anti-air here. I know it like feels weird, but whenever you're having to deal with a bomber and you're going to deal with it with anti-airs, they have to have a buddy system going on. Because bombers are fast, they move faster than anti-airs, and they beat up anti-airs when they first strike them. So you do need to have another anti-air that can come in and avenge if an attack happens. And I know you can like look at, if you're just looking, you're like, oh, the bomber's a tile away. You're against Max. Max can always pop a power and go for some gutsy things. I don't know if that will happen here. It is on a city. You want to set a fighter chase a bomber all the way around this map? That can happen. Okay, we're gonna have some sacrificial attacks. Take out the tank. What is this infantry movement? Oh, it's fine. 1, 2. Okay. It's fine. This tank can move, and the anti-air can kill it from over here. That's fine. Never mind. For a second there, I thought this blocked the only tile that could hit the copter. Yep, here comes the bomber. Oh, it just kills it, so yeah. And that's why anti-airs need their buddy system. Stop. Earl of Lemongrab, get help. You don't move your units onto your bases. If you want a tank on this base, just build a tank. You're hiding your base skips from me. I see you. Are there any units that don't need a buddy system? Well, anti-airs only need a buddy system when they're fighting bombers. They don't need a buddy system when they're fighting copters. There we go. Now the anti-airs. Now, luckily, if Max had a little bit of support for this bomber, the bomber could like come in. I mean, if it wants to, it can still come in and hit this anti-air, but it won't kill him. Okay, these guys. Next turn, these anti-airs are going to be able to link up and have a buddy system. Could trap the bomber. That's true. It's a really expensive trap. You trap the bomber with medium tanks? But you could do that. Look, it's not too dangerous to fight in range of the base if the base doesn't build anything. So this was some big brain plays from Olaf. Olaf knew that was going to be base skip central. I love the trap here. 5 health tank. You can kill off a 1 health tank and then die. Bomber kills an infantry. You know, it's the only thing not guarded by an anti-air. I can understand it. Could have dived in on this anti-air. I'm fine with not doing so. Yeah, the fighter will deal with this copter for sure. Ooh. Olaf builds a fighter of his own. It's a pretty good. It like justifies the max fighter. I think Olaf just really wants charge. What? Olaf did not learn. What is this? Anti-airs need a buddy system. You could buy anti-air. Fighters do make great blockers. Usually you don't go 20k just to stand on your own city, but sometimes that's what you do. Why there? I mean, it's safe. It got blocked. So, I will say, I know I said that joining units before getting hit by the super is pretty good, but you don't want to join the 1 health unit into a 2 health unit. That's almost worst case scenario. Because the 1 health unit wasn't going to take any damage, and now it loses its 1 health. Oh, the Max Bomber's been killing other stuff. It's been killing anti-airs. Oh, okay, good. You do have to be really careful when fighting against max fighters. You need to be more than just 1 tile out of their range. It's a very chill game. That's a bold tank. Man, 3 health tank is the kill. That's an attack I wouldn't go for. So, if you've got a bomber and you're like, it's getting chased by a fighter, what do? I can't get out of its range. It moves faster than me. What you do is you run over to your infantry friends and your tank friends. You say, cover me! And you just charge up here, and then you just place units around you, and then the fighter can't get you. If you're going to go for an attack like this, I would go after one of the medium tanks. Like, you don't need the bomber to go after infantry. Okay, happy fighter. Pop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It is nicely in place of this fighter, or in range of this fighter, even during the snow. Olaf is like, he's 400 value away, so just sacrificing this guy against the infantry on the city would do it. Medium tank can go in here and do it too. Pop, 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 pop. With another 30k, another 30k damage. Looking good. Ooh, that's a nice pick off. You can see the snow saves the copter. The unit count is starting to get closer. Ooh, and very cheeky. The medium tank wall. So this is kind of like how the bomber would get saved from the fighter with units walling. In this case, the fighter is getting saved from the fighter by units walling. So pretty good turn there for Olaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like this anti-air placement. It's just going to get smacked by this medium tank. It does. Things are starting to turn around for Olaf here. I mean, it does get the hit on the fighter in range of the anti-air. It's not too great. I mean, this is definitely a spicy... What did this attack? What is this move? Just like, man, this anti-air doesn't have any good targets. You know what? I see Max has got full charge. I'll just give him a target. Why, thank you. Okay, down goes the medium tank. There it comes over. Fighter. Get bicopter. I don't think I would repair the fighter. You just accept that you now have a 2 health fighter. If you want a full health fighter, you just build one. The reason you don't go for the repairs is because that stops you from using your airport. That kind of sucks. A 2 health fighter can still block anything that isn't an anti-air or another fighter. And it can still like attack copters and be annoying. I guess it's coming over here to deal with this copter. Well, I guess that's fair. Unfortunate. Central captures. Okay. Again, I prefer if anti-airs get repaired, even against Olaf and global damage to you. Copter has like... The copter's like, what's the worst place I could go? Like, I want to be in range of both the fighter and the anti-air. Oh, right there. I mean, there's not really great places for it to go. It can, like, move over here, be annoying, be out of range of the fighter and the anti-air. The double tap. So here I wouldn't use the fighter. The fighter's got more important jobs. For instance, your tank kills here, and then you can just put the fighter here, and suddenly all of these guys are safe from the medium tank. And the anti-air can just deal with this guy. Or maybe there's another thing you want to do. Maybe you want to use your power, and then the Neo tank comes in here and hits here, and you're like, I don't really want my Neo tank to be hit from multiple sides. So you bring your fighter down, and it just stands here, and you're safe. That not reach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would probably interrupt this capture. Who cares about the 2 health medium tank when you're losing a city? Spicy sacrifice. Neo tank comes in, finishes the job. I love the sacrifice. I don't think I like the attack. Just because that leaves open Neo tank strike on Neo tank City of the Shoal. Which is a little disgusting. With the Olaf super too. Another 30k? Almost. Or no, that is. Neo tank lives at 1. Hit. Went after the Neo tank. Okay. 2 fighter. Smackety smack. Smack. Tank. There gets a kill over there. Neo tank very bold. That's a very bold attack. This Neo tank was risking a lot going for the attack on that infantry. The luck damage threat is huge. I'm not quite sure why Earl of Lemongrab has stopped building copters. Luck damage got the Neo tank in the end. Alright, tank come in, kill that off. This Neo tank can't reach here because this 4 health copter from Earl of Lemongrab is in the way. Nicely placed. It can go over here and just kill this anti-air though. Ah. It doesn't want to though, it wants to just get involved in this fight. I guess this guy can go for the anti-air. Okay, that's fair. Air backs up over here. Man, the unit value difference is huge, but the unit count is still looking pretty decent. I'm not quite sure about placing my Neo tank there. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe the Neo tank can go after like this guy or something. You can have the fighter block off this Neo tank. Just really wouldn't want my 5 health Neo tank next to a full health Neo tank. That's definitely asking for trouble. Okay, we brought the copters back. Buy Neo tank. Oh, go after the tank. Finish off the tank. Capture isn't going to quite go through yet. Or gets taken out. Ooh, we had the base skip there with no infantry buys. We're running out of infantry again for Olaf. But Olaf does have 10 tanks against 6. Okay, although now 7 tanks against 6 isn't nearly now 7 tanks against 8. It's no longer nearly so impressive. Alright, Neo tank's still pretty happy. I would prefer if the fighter was the one blocking it off here. Although, I guess I wouldn't want the fighter over here at all because the anti-air, get it. The anti-air is not interested. The anti-air goes after the infantry instead. A weird choice. I guess the infantry can actually capture stuff while the fighter can't. There's been no answer built for this Neo tank, which is really weird to me. We have the max force. I mean, I guess copters can go for it and take it out pretty happily. All right, we're shutting off the airport for now. I would just hit the copter, I think, because this will only shut it off for a turn. As soon as an anti-air gets built, you have to run away anyway. I like the threats over here. Bunch of tanks. Go after the Neo tank with the copters. Looking pretty good. I don't know why the anti-air went onto this forest tile. It was probably just a get out of the way choice. But you would want it closer because, I mean, there is still this copter here. Alright, infantry preparing to get hit by global damage. Makes sense. Tank backs up. Bear sacrifices itself for the greater Olaf cause. There's been so many superpowers that charge requirements are getting really high up there, so it's no longer like, oh, I'm 1 bar away, it's just free. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm 1 bar away, it's gonna take 2 turns. We get the city down here, which is nice. Copter beats up copter. Safety of the tank. 5 health tank finishes off the Neo tank. The fighter is going to have to get out of here. The fighter's like, no. You're going to have to choose. You kill me or you kill the copter. Okay. Ooh, and the fighter chooses the copter. No 4 health copter for you. Or the anti-air chooses the copter. The fighter lives. Gets to complete its airport lock. (4-4) trade here. Very dangerous setup here. Can definitely get some nice hits in here. Strike. Through. Here we have double anti-air. Fighter is sticking it out. I don't know if he even had a safe spot. Doesn't look like it. Let's die. We knew it well, though. Olaf goes in for some pretty juicy swings. Copter. That's a less juicy swing. Not sure what's going on with that attack. Yeah, attacking the copter is fine there. Although getting in range now, it's no longer quite so fun. Is that... It's okay, there's 3 infantry left for Olaf. Max tank count is looking pretty good in the center. It's 11 to 8, 7 infantry to 3. 26k to 20. It's 6k advantage, gotta feel good. I think we sacrificed themselves. We now have brought back the copper production. We have the max force. Zoom on in, beat up these anti-airs, beat up the tanks. Copter unfortunately can't reach anything, but it can cover against opposing copter. 23 units to 11. This is starting to look like it's going to close out soon. There we go. Olaf has resigned. That was a very back and forth game. That fighter lived its best life. It did. It wasn't very depressing. Oh, Javier versus Hawk is. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed. Really, don't place your units on your bases like that. Number one thing to work on. You had some great plays though. For your opponent, the number one thing I would work on is the buddy system, like dealing with bombers. It's a big deal. Remember, base cubes are how you establish dominance. I think this is an early CatWithYarn game. Since it says Global League Practice 3. For those that don't know, CatWithYarn is Shadow in the chat. Been with the channel for a long time and has grown a lot as a player. We might go back and see. We might do something fun where we do like a back-to-back of Shadow's first game to one of Shadow's more recent games. You can see just how different the gameplay is. So this, I believe, will be a lower yellow game. We'll see how it plays out. We have Sturm versus Sasha. It's pretty fun. Okay, we have both players dropping off down here right away. Let's see. Looks like we're gonna have a double drop off. CatWithYarn. This is practice for Global League. So what's the strategy for this map? Usually it's to get a fairly early infantry presence over here to get these captures going before the recons hit you. And then once you kind of you can try and invest in trying to take both comm towers, or you can start moving into the center to get some economic edge here. You have the Sturm recon interrupt on this capture. The lander decided not to move from its spot, which is, you know, it's understandable, I guess. It wants to go back to this harbor. Over here, Sturm just moved the lander to this harbor, hop in it, and drop off down here. Pretty happy. Now, of course, Sturm, I would recommend building way more than just one recon. You can be harassing on all fronts at the same time due to your super recon speed. it's mighty good. We're starting to run into the traffic jam over here. This can happen when you just don't quite have like enough transports going on, or like the logistics of the map can be pretty awkward for sure. Sturm's lander wants to go back to this harbor. You don't really need to. You can stay at this harbor. It's fine, unless you're trying to pick up infantry all the time. Sturm recons being Sturm recons, yeah. Well, recons get over here really fast for everyone. It's just the Sturm recons can get everywhere really fast. But the route over here is a lot of properties and roads. Okay. So far, the Sturm recon, you know, it's denied one city, which is definitely decent. And it looks like CatWithYarn just hasn't shipped over a tank to deal with it yet. Instead, focusing more on moving out towards this more central to the right area, which can definitely pay some dividends. You can just take your opponent's properties if they don't have enough defenses. And Sturm definitely doesn't have enough defenses. There's a single tank here against an incoming triple tank force. I would definitely recommend building some more indirects to Sturm, especially on this map. There's some nice forests that you could put a rocket, and usually rockets don't get built by players because they're really slow and they're super vulnerable. But Sturm kind of helps in both these fronts. His rockets are not super slow, and they're not quite so vulnerable because if they're in a forest, they've got 50% or 40% defense. It's kind of like being on an HQ for other players. They don't just kind of melt as fast to single tank shots. They'll still die at double tank shots, unless your opponent's got like minus firepower or something. I think it's just out of vision, but there's plenty of recons over here. So CatWithYarn has a choice as to which front to attack with these tanks, or can just split them up. Seeing this will probably encourage tank strike on this infantry, tank strike on this tank. Does look pretty juicy to me. Tank strike up there. I mean, going for this hit isn't bad. I think I prefer to hit here because it saves your own city. This is a little exposed for my liking. Oh, I definitely don't just wait here with this tank, though. I mean, even hitting the recon, well, not the Sturm recon, but hitting the Sturm tank's fine. Interrupting the city is fine. Just waiting with the tank, not quite. I don't know what this tank is looking for if it's not these targets. Sturm recons are very, very good. You're like, Sturm gets these units for 4,000 funds? This is OP. We are getting that, yeah, we are getting that copter production from Sasha. This can be really hard to match just because of the income advantage that she can get. Although at this point, we have 22 properties for Sasha, 25 properties for Sturm. So right now, Sturm is doing just fine economically, although it looks like we might get some of these cities back for Sasha. Heard that copters aren't actually that good on this map. I think copters are fine on this map. I think they're a little predictable. I think T-copters are really good because you can pick up a mech and immediately drop it off over here. But yeah, this is why the predictability of the copters can be dangerous because they move over here. They get here a lot faster than the tanks do. So the copter shows up, it dies to the anti-air, and then you don't have a tank yet in range to deal with that. That's more of a using copters on the front lines problem than the map problem. You just really don't want frontline copters in fog. They just die. Okay, it looks like we're giving up on this capture. We're gonna get this one. Ooh, okay, there was still some tanks here to save the day. Kill off the anti-air. Want to swap? I wouldn't want to swap to bombers on this one. Because you swap to a bomber, but then they build a fighter, and the fighter's gonna get there really fast. Like the airport has really fast reinforcements. It flies over the water, even though it's a touchdown. I mean, other players might want to build bombers. I wouldn't feel super comfortable with bombers on the map. Oh, did Sasha? I missed Sasha timing on the 22K. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the classic. You build and then you... Man, I've done that too. It really sucks. I did that against Hevel. I don't think any of you guys know Hevel. Hevel was a player when I was first rising through the ranks. So my game against Hevel, I was winning as Sasha versus Hawk, my very first Sasha game. And then I do that same thing, I mess up. Hawk gets the power, I end up losing the game. And then Hawk, then Hevel just stops playing the game for like 6 months. And then I rise to number 1. And Hevel comes back and is like, oh, that Go7 guy? He was so easy though. I'm like, wow, how dare you? It's just the Sasha mess up, man. Everyone does it. It's part of the coming of age to playing Sasha. You become an experienced Sasha player after you mess up your market crash. This is very clustered units here. Oh, there we go. Here we got market crash. See, this is how it goes. It's you mess up the market crash and then you overcorrect. It's like, okay, before I do anything, market crash. So usually you want to go for the attacks that don't need the +10/+10 stats so that you can generate more charge and also have more charge for your opponent that you then clear. It could be that all of the attacks you want to have the +10/+10 stats. But usually the preference I have is most of the vehicle fights I'll do without the +10/+10 stats so that I can clear more of my opponent's charge. And then I'll just take the +10/+10 stats for all of the infantry on infantry fights or just attacking infantry in general because it generates really little charge. So you get, you get a lot out of those stats for the infantry fights. Without having to deal with all that charge. Ooh, here we go. We got Sturm rocket. What? Oh, this was a practice game, so I guess they decided to just stop. Oh, I see what happened. Maybe. I think Sturm unloaded the rocket, sees tanks here, is like, oh no. And then doesn't think that they can defend it? Maybe they think they're in trouble because they moved into this artillery range. I think Sturm is doing totally fine in this game. At 28 properties against 24, so that's definitely pretty good. But this was a practice game, so it does end there. It's pretty interesting. Sturm just resigns. I think Sturm was fine. The Sturm infantry are really beefy. So I think this is a fine wall. You do have to let the artillery get hit, I think. Which kinda sucks. Maybe you can just have an infantry here and be fine. And then over here, I mean, the artillery fires. It's not that big of a deal. The copters in the middle are... I mean, Sturm doesn't have any anti-air in range, so these will be a menace for quite a while. G. Sturm definitely wasn't going to get a power anytime soon. You know, let's sneak out one more game just because I started so late. Watch this be just like an incredibly long game. Okay, it's a live game. It's a live game that took an entire, like, it crossed over the day threshold. Does that mean it's an incredibly long live game? I don't know. How does that even happen? They're playing at midnight? Midnight gaming. You can pause. Alright, we have Operation Mechstorm versus RBD 21. Tier 4 high fund on Tangled. Right. What a map. Okay, I'll make Operation Mechstorm couple dice. Because I can. And then we'll make RB21 Yellow Comet. Double base. I guess I'll have them face the opposite way. Because the base layout's a little weird. Okay. I feel like the FTA balance on this map is awful. I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't think I want to send my infantry back here right away, do I? Maybe that's fine as a move, because it sets you up for building an APC. Okay, maybe that's fine. But it's still sus. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want, going up here is pretty good. Going over here, I can see it. Okay. Being forced to go back here, it's a little sus. We'll see if Operation Mechstorm doesn't go back here, it's officially bad. Okay. Okay. It's just sus. I have a feeling that Sturm is banned on this map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh. Sturm is 100% banned on this map. Sturm just builds a recon, stops you from ever getting this base. It's the only city within 1 turn range, but that doesn't mean you necessarily want to go for that city. Oh no. This is Operation Mechstorm, never mind. RB21's up here. This is such a bad base. It's important you have those black bows so we can try and stop the artillery from blocking you. This is also a bad base. What is it? What are these bases? Yeah, Operation Mechstorm's like, oh, look at this. We've got pipes and ocean tiles and mountains defending my artillery, locking you. We have a medium tank over here. Double harbors. Okay. Now it's a game of, can I get the artillery over here? Can the tank stop me? Just a tank over here. Blacklet's ready to pick something up. Tank desperately tries to control the area. There's an artillery approaching. They're doing the same thing on both sides. Does Operation Mechstorm have the guts to charge in here and attack from the missile platform? Operation Mechstorm does not have the guts. Builds a rocket that will stop the artillery locks. The artillery, unfortunately, cannot stop the artillery locks. It just forces them to be a little bit elsewhere. Ooh, okay, it stops the artillery. This is a pretty good placement. It both stops the artillery locks on the base, and it locks 1, 2, 3 different cities. That's pretty good. Ooh, I like the deployment down here, going straight for this airport. The birds really like it too. I was gonna say, this tank is potentially in trouble. RB-21 kind of needs to build a rocket here. Tank strike. I respect it. For the mech buy. I guess there's another tank over here now. The Neo tank can get involved. Nice repair on the tank. Does RB-21 just go for another first strike? That would definitely be cute. That just goes for the repair. Kills off that infantry. Neo tank comes over here. Another Neo tank. We're gonna need more than just one artillery now to deal with this base. These units are so awkward. Okay. Artillery covering these tiles. Ooh, Neo tank attacks from the city. It's covered by another Neo tank. And it's probably not too scared about medium strike while you're on a neutral property. Operation Mechstorm is up by 4K, which is pretty nice. What is this play? It is such a weird... Is this... I mean, it's covered by the artillery. This will have nothing really to shoot but this property, so I don't understand why RB-21 went for these. Operation Mechstorm does get this airport and is threatening to take this one. Yeah, these both get interrupted. The tank moves forward. We have a side slip. Is that for the Neo tank first strike? I don't think this is even... Is that even good? Oh, it's good with the black boat. That makes it pretty darn good. Okay, it's pretty good. Although the medium tank is super dead. Is that good? I take it back. That's not good. Does the rocket matter? Yeah, no, this is just bad. Because Jess can just power back and Neo tank hits here. We've got artillery. We've got... Well, maybe... Well, no, you got tank plus strike kills this. The Neo tank hits Neo tank. No, what, why? What this guy does. And this guy hits this one. Also, what? Operation Mechstorm didn't block this off? And also, what? The tank hits the artillery, not the rocket? What is going on? What are these choices? Okay, I can understand this coming in here, hitting this artillery. Oh, okay. It was to hit the artillery so this artillery can kill the rocket next turn? It's all part of the plan. Is this RB21? Is that you, Rishi? This attack's pretty good. I still think killing this off Neotank strikes over here seems really strong. Ooh, we have the delete on the artillery to kill this tank. And then this artillery gets hit. Yeah, I think killing off this rocket was the better play. That was a good delete, though. Now this Neotank isn't covered by the other Neotank. I feel very sketch about that Jess turn. It had some good ideas. But that's sometimes how it goes in live gaming, for sure. What? Just take the city. I know it's going to cost the infantry its life, but I think it's holdable. Just take it. It's down 6k. You need the money. Operation Mechstorm does control both airports. Builds a T-copter, is going to be able to get both comm towers. That seems disgusting. We have the mega tanks saying hello. Outer mega tanks are pretty good. Jess mega tanks are even better. Jess says hello to the HQ. There's no infantry in range to start capping it next turn, though. I do agree with Jess, though. I mean, you can't really win if you lose. If Adder just gets both comm towers on you, because you kind of lose your whole edge you had. There we go. Both comm towers are going to fall soon. We have the Adder Super. Here, all Adder really has to do is kill off soldiers. One healthy infantry left with this attack. Only really 2 tiles to hit this HQ from, too. I don't think this is going to happen. Do a nice turbo charge. Kill off the Neotank, kill off the Copter. Pretty good first strikes. The Mega Tank is going to get its first pick off on a Neotank, though. He will fall. I mean, you can't be upset about double comm tower. Bombers incoming. The attack on the HQ's pretty much been thwarted. Rockets down to 1 ammo. Now this thing is taken. I don't know why that was delayed. That Copter. This anti-air doesn't have a buddy. It had a buddy, but the buddy didn't come along. The buddy wouldn't have been safe anyway. I like this black boat teaming up with the mega tank. That's very cute. That buddy wouldn't have even mattered. The city does get captured. That's good. Rocket has now run out of ammo. Do we build an APC? No. We'll just send it onto a city. Mega tank, Neo tank. The airport has been locked, which is good. Strike on the mega tank and the Neo tank. Down to 0 ammo. Should not happen. The black boat could have just given it ammo. The Neo tank can hit this for essentially free. Mega tank has no target but this mech, so it should have just gone and hit the mech. Okay. I think being gutsy towards this base. Better enjoying our double comm tower here. Does indeed go to sit here. I mean, the anti-air can go kill it, but we'll die for it. Okay, we did repair the mega tank, so it will have ammo to defend itself. Mega tank breaks this pipe seam to free up this airport. Over here, this airport really should have built a bomber last turn. He goes for the copter strike just for the charge. Or might just build a bomber now, which is fine. A 7 health anti-air will not be able to beat a bomber on an airport. If you're Andy, although not if you're against Jess, but against a lot of COs. If you're Andy and there's one anti-air threatening your airport, you just build a bomber and you say, hit me. Because they hit you, then knock you down to 2, and then your turn comes around, you repair up to 4, and then you got a ton of charge, so you hit your super, and you go up to 9, and you just kill their anti-air. You wouldn't be able to do that against Jess, though, because Jess can pop a power to get firepower boost, and one-shot the bomber. So unless Jess didn't have the charge. Didn't build the bomber though, so this actually just falls. Bit of a blunder. I think Operation Mechstorm just ran out of time though, because we also had a base skip over here with 9k in the bank. Mega tank comes in and gets a kill. Yo. This will be really annoying to take though. Or take away. You build a copter to clear it, and then the T-copter comes over. It's gonna take forever. Well, not forever. It'll take longer than just building a T-copter, sailing on over. I guess you don't actually have to build this T-copter. You could have just built a black boot way earlier on, sailed on up here. RB21 attacking down here. I thought this game was like super over when Operation Mechstorm got both of these comm towers, but oh my gosh, Operation Mechstorm's base got sat on. I mean, it just dies to a tank, but you know, it's the thought that counts. I think Operation Mechstorm just got low on time, and started making some pretty nasty mistakes because of it. So now Jess is looking really happy. Bomber does come in and get a nice kill. So there are some follow-ups. Actually, the bomber's not super happy. Mech tank can just clear the way for the anti-air to kill it, as Jess may want. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The medium tank cannot move any further than here without losing to a Jess super. Smack. Smack. Smackety smack smack. Very painful. Here goes the copter. I guess the T-copter doesn't have an infantry to pick up right now though. The Sidewinder does let this come in. I guess Nice little hideaway next to the artillery up here. Mega tank fights are live. Comm tower is now cleared. You might see something cheeky like a tank here. Don't. We just... This artillery placement looks awful now. Bye. Mega tanks and neo tanks ahoy. Just pops up power, kills off some more neo tanks. Not every day you see an anti-air kill a neo tank. Another mega tank comes out. I mean, this is Jess. You don't need to refuel them. Operation Mechstorm resigns. Oh man. Operation Mechstorm was so far ahead, but Jess managed to pull it out in the end through the live gaming. He must die for the cause. The bomber's just open. I thought the bomber needed... Well, probably the power did it. Although it turned into 85k bank. GG. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I will leave you with an apple. And I'll be back... It is Wednesday. I think I'm back on Friday. Yeah, power's needed to kill because no power. No tower, yeah. Glad you guys enjoyed. Good night, and thanks for watching.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's his thing.